Morning class. Good morning teacher. Today I'm going to talk to you about climate changes. I've seen that many of my classmates are talking about climate changes because we need to take this really into consideration because we have many, as I'm telling you, a lot of climate changes here in our area because we can get tropical, semi-arid or arid climates depending on the time we are of the year, and that is really interesting. For example, this year we don't need to go a lot and water our crops because we are in the phenomenon of La Nina, and in other years, for example, last year it was the phenomenon of El Nino. Well, what mainly about El Nino and La Nina, it is that, for example, El Nino brings the water from America and takes it to the other side of the world, takes it to Asia and to the mid midwestern area of the world, and mid eastern area to the Middle East. Sorry, and La Nina brings the water back to us. So so we get half and half. We get a year of dryness and we get a year of rain. This is interesting mainly because the crops are trying to evolutionate through the years, and they can do it in many places. But with climate changes, they really need to get to adapt to every climate change we have in every year. So maybe if we get our maybe if we get a lot of climate changes, we can get to know that plants will evolutionate to a point that anywhere we can go and plant, that plant will emerge. And that would be good because if that plant emerges and adapts to a new place, that means we have a new place that we can go and crop and get food for ourselves. That's the main thing about climate changes. If we get climate changes, we might get some crop changes a long time because they need to get to a point where they can be adjusted to nature. For example, talking about temperature, the amount of rain, the the photosynthesis, because if we get too much of sunlight, the photosynthesis will be so hard in the plant that it won't be able to get carbon from the carbon dioxide, and it will be too strong for him. That's why we need to water plants, because if we water plants, the electron it is sustaining for getting the for getting the photoreception of the sunlight, it needs to go back to where it was. But we only can get that if we water the plants. And if you know that, you can imagine that plants are really close to human beings because we need to consume food so we can walk, or we can go to the gym, or we can start speaking, or mainly can have energy. But what do plants need? Plant needs water, plant needs nutrients such as we also need nutrients. And well, nutrients can be in one place and they can be changed by climate changes. Also interesting, you know, because if you get a horizon and you're preparing yourself to go and plant. Well, uh, this is made by machines. For example, you go, you prepare your land, and when you're rolling with the discs in the back of your tractor, the thing that will happen is that the horizons, the lower horizon, which maybe not the one you need, may go up, and the one you need will go down. And what will create this? This will mainly create the plant to try to adapt to a new environment. And that is mainly what I think is good sometimes. Because if we can get a plant to adapt to another place, we can go out and plant everywhere. We will not have limits. As you know, if you get an idea, when you think about it, you're 75% through about what you want. Maybe this is true. Maybe this one day will be true, and I'll create a theory about this. It is interesting because I think that if we get to change the places where we usually crop, we can get over world hunger and other problems such as this. Because the crops will be near people. People won't need anywhere to go. They will just go to the back of their garden maybe and get some food. But sometimes we see that people can't do that because many of the crops can't adapt to many places. So it would be nice to see if by our hand we can change nature and make ourselves live inside earth by trying to change the way of planting and the way a plant works. Well, thank you. It was nice to speak to you. Have a nice day.